Culturally responsive teaching connects students' cultures, languages, and life experiences with what they learn in school. By being culturally responsive, we can raise academic expectations of all learners. Students can work together to understand and appreciate others' strengths and build empathy. In order to understand different types of culturally responsive teaching, we would look at different subject areas. In this case, we're looking at a math problem. If Miguel ate 9 tacos and Carlos ate 5 tacos, how many tacos were eaten on Cinco de Mayo? Not only are we empathetic to students of different cultures, we can add that into our questions. Just a simple question like that, a student would be able to relate to the student in the question. Another example of CRT is to use vocabulary to present new concepts. In social studies, the question would be, look on the map of Japan. What is the name of the largest volcano and in which city? So here we're looking to broaden the horizons of all of our students and looking at a volcano in Japan versus something in maybe Hawaii or somewhere closer by. So this way, the students are looking at not only which one is the largest, but then that there's also other ones that are in Japan, especially in Tokyo, and having the students try to explain what that might be like for a student in that country. In language arts, there are many possibilities of CRT. What they were looking at for this one is through learning stations. I use learning stations a lot in my language arts class, but to look at empathy and trying to teach students that we can be the same, but we may look different on the outside or have other different qualities. So the example is in this station, read the picture book about Elliot and Kailash. What is the same about them? How do their differences make them unique? So instead of doing something like a Venn diagram to make them more different from each other, how do those differences make them unique? So you're changing your wording to be more inclusive. You can also make CRT in science class. A lot of people think science is its own entity, but you can use CRT by Skyping a scientist. There are many scientists through Skype that you can meet with for free. And there are all different generations, different ethnicities, different cultures, and just inviting somebody that may be different from your students would also build empathy and rapport. And if they're looking for a science career, they know that there is somebody that they can look up to and be a role model. In my class, I included holidays around the world in our nonfiction unit. I chose books from each culture represented in my classroom, as well as a few others. Then the students chose a country or religion they wanted to research about a holiday in that culture. Students enjoyed being represented and brought background knowledge and stories from their elders into their writing. There are many other students who are included in our classroom. Some of these students are English language learners, a student who may speak languages as well as English, but that is not the preferred language at home, students who are blind, deaf, or there any other disability. So how do we support ELL and ESOL students in our classrooms? So according to Cooper, the domains of language acquisition, speaking, writing, reading, and listening need to be equally exercised across content areas daily. So basically, keeping the students to be reading, writing, and listening to all different types of text, nonfiction, fiction, culturally diverse. There are many other opportunities where a student can reflect and write about their background knowledge. These are some posters that I've used in my classroom to make students feel more comfortable and see some of their native language around the classroom. So they're not as nervous, especially when my middle school students come in for the first day of school in a new building, that they can understand a little bit about where they are and how to get to the classroom. The last topic I wanted to discuss was how to support students that are deaf or blind. The website here gives a lot of good details on what to find, but I looked at the accessibility features of Chromebooks, and then the Twizzlers are actually something that I did with my student, And she was blind and she was able to use tally marks with Twizzlers.